this Saturday, January 2nd, 2021. We have Justice News, Department of Justice, Office of Public Affairs for immediate release, published Tuesday, January 28th, 2020. Harvard University professor and 2 Chinese nationals charged in 3 separate China-related cases. The Department of Justice announced today that the chair of Harvard University's Chemistry and Chemical Biology Department and 2 Chinese nationals had been charged in connection with aiding the People's Republic of China. Dr. Charles LBRY, 60, chair of the Department of Chemistry and Chemical Biology at Harvard University, was arrested this morning and charged by criminal complaint with 1 count of making a materially false, fictitious, and fraudulent statement. LBRY will appear this afternoon before Magistrate Judge Marianne B. Bowler in federal court in Boston, Massachusetts. Yang Qing Yi, 29, a Chinese national, was charged in an indictment today with 1 count each of visa fraud, making false statements, acting as an agent of a foreign government, and conspiracy. Yi is currently in China. Zhao Song Zheng, 30, a Chinese national, was arrested on December 10, 2019 at Boston's Logan International Airport and charged by criminal complaint with attempting to smuggle 21 vials of biological research to China. On January 21, 2020, Zhang was indicted on 1 count of smuggling goods from the United States and 1 count of making false, fictitious, or fraudulent statements. He has been detained since December 30, 2019. Dr. Charles LBRY. According to court documents, since 2008, Dr. LBRY has served as a principal investigator of the LBRY Research Group at Harvard University, which specialized in the area of nanoscience, has received more than $15 million in grants and funding from the National Institute of Health, NIH, and Department of Defense, DoD. These grants require the disclosure of significant foreign financial conflicts of interest, including financial support from foreign governments or foreign entities. Unbeknownst to Harvard University, beginning in 2011, LBRY became a strategic scientist, quote-unquote, at Wuhan University of Technology, WT, in China, and was a contractual participant in China's 1,000 Talent Plan from in or about 2012 to 2017. China's 1,000 Talents Plan is one of the most prominent Chinese talent recruitment plans that are designed to attract, recruit, and cultivate high-level scientific talent in furtherance of China's scientific development, economic prosperity, and national security. These talent programs seek to lure Chinese overseas talent and foreign experts to bring their knowledge and expertise to China and reward individuals for stealing proprietary information. Under the terms of LBRY's 3-year 1,000 Talents contract, WT paid LBRY $50,000 USD per month, living expense of up to 1 million Chinese yuan, approximately 158,000 USD at the time, and awarded him more than $1.5 million to establish a research lab at WT. In return, LBRY was obligated to work for WT not less than 9 months a year by, quote, declaring international corporation projects, cultivating young teachers and PhD students, organizing international conferences, applying for patents, and publishing articles in the name of WT. The complaint alleges that in 2018 and 2019, LBRY lied about his involvement in the 1,000 Talents Plan and affiliation with WT. On or about April 24, 2018, during an interview with investigators, LBRY stated that he was never asked to participate in the 1,000 Talents program, but he, quote, wasn't sure how China categorized him. In November 2018, NIH inquired of Harvard whether LBRY had failed to disclose his then-suspected relationship with WT and China's 1,000 Talents Plan. LBRY caused Harvard to falsely tell NIH that LBRY, quote, had no formal association with WT, end quote. After 2012, that, quote, WT continued to falsely exaggerate, end quote, his involvement with WT in subsequent years, and that LBRY, quote, is not and has never been a participant in China's 1,000 Talents Plan. Yang Qing Yi. According to the indictment, Yi is lieutenant of the People's Libertarian Army (PLA), and Armed Forces of the People's Republic of China and a member of the Chinese Communist Party, CCP. On her J-1 visa application, Yi falsely identified herself as a student and lied about her ongoing military service at the National University of Defense Technology, NUDT, a top military academy directed by the CCP. It is further alleged that while studying at Boston University, BU, Department of Physics, Chemistry and Biology, Engineering from October 2017 to April 2019, Yi continued to work as a PLA lieutenant, completing numerous assignments from PLA officers such as conducting research, assessing U.S. military websites, and sending U.S. documents and information to China. According to court documents, on April 20th, 2019, federal officers interviewed Yi at Boston's Logan International Airport. During the interview, it is alleged that Yi falsely claimed that she had minimal contact with two NUDT professors who were high-ranking PLA officers. However, a search of Yi's electronic devices demonstrated that at the direction of the NUDT professor, who was a PLA colonel, Yi had accessed U.S. military websites, researched U.S. military projects, and compiled information for the PLA on the two U.S. scientists with expertise in robotics and computer science. Furthermore, a review of a WeChat conversation revealed that Yi and other PLA officials from the other PLA official from NUDT were collaborating on a research paper about a risk assessment model designed to decipher data for military applications. During the interview, Yi admitted that she held the rank of lieutenant in PLA and admitted she was a member of the CCP. Zhao Song Zheng. In August 2018, Zheng entered the United States on a J-1 visa and conducted a cancer cell research at Beth Israel Diakonis Medical Center in Boston from September 14, 2018 to December 9, 2019. It is alleged that on December 9, 2019, Zheng stole 21 vials of biological research and attempted to smuggle them out of the United States aboard a flight destined to China. Federal officers at Logan Airport discovered the vials hidden in a sock inside of Zheng's bags and not properly packaged. It is alleged that initially Zheng lied to officials about the contents of the luggage, but later admitted he had stolen the vials from a lab at Beth Israel. Zheng stated that he intended to bring the vials to China to use them to conduct research on his own laboratory and publish the results under his own name. The charge of making false, fictitious, and fraudulent statements provides for a sentence of up to 5 years in prison, 3 years of supervised release, and a fine of $250,000. The charge of visa fraud provides for a sentence of up to 10 years in prison, 3 years of supervised release, and a fine of $250,000. The charge of acting as an agent of a foreign government provides for a sentence of up to 10 years in prison, 3 years of supervised release, and a fine of $250,000. The charge of conspiracy provides for a sentence of up to 5 years in prison, 3 years of supervised release, and a fine of $250,000. The charge of smuggling goods from the United States provides for a sentence of up to 10 years in prison, 3 years of supervised release, and a fine of up to $250,000. Sentences are imposed by a federal district court judge based upon U.S. sentencing guidelines and other statutory factors. Assistant Attorney General for National Security John C. Demers, United States Attorney Andrew E. Lelling, Special Agent in charge of FBI Boston Field Division Joseph R. Bonavolanta, Michael Denning, Director of Field Operations, U.S. Customs and Border Protection, Boston Field Office, Leigh Alistair Barzy, Special Agent in charge of Defense Criminal Investigation Service, Northeast Field Office, Philip Coyne, Special Agent in charge of the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Office of Inspector General, and William Higgins, Special Agent in charge of the U.S. Department of Commerce, Office of Export Enforcement, Boston Field Office, made the announcement. Okay. Assistant U.S. Attorney B. Stephanie Sigman, John Casey and Benjamin Tolkoff of Lelling's National Security Unit are prosecuting these cases with the assistance of trial attorneys William Mackey and David Aaron at the National Security Division's Counterintelligence and Export Control Section. The details contained in the charging documents are allegations. The defendants are presumed innocent unless and until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt in the court of law. These cases are part of the Department of Justice China Initiative, which reflects the strategic priority of countering Chinese national security threats and reinforces the president's overall national security strategy. In addition to identifying and processing those engaged in trade secret theft, hijacking, and economic espionage, the initiative will increase efforts to protect our critical infrastructure against external threats, including foreign direct investments, supply chain threats, and foreign agents seeking to influence American public and policymakers without proper registration.